Welcome back, True Seeker. One other thing that happened in my own personal life today, and it's made things annoying around here. Somehow the trolls were able to track down where Sweet Lady works. And they called her work today, and they hoaxed her, and they freaked her out, and they got her to give up personal information that she shouldn't have.
What goes around comes around.
And anyway, she's just super stressed out and annoyed. And somebody called pretending to be the authorities, and they wanted to know my whereabouts because they were coming to arrest me. But I followed up with the authorities, and it was a hoax. That's how we figured out it was a hoax. Because when she first called me about it, I wasn't sure if that was real, but I said, that doesn't make sense. I said, let me follow up and see if any of this is true. But yeah, anyway, just Sweet Lady's all stressed out again, and she's just like, see, Zach, it's just not even worth it. I mean, like, not enough people help you.
Bullshit.
You know, and there's just so many people that just, like, really want to interfere and cause big problems in our life. And, you know, again, I don't intend to quit, but again, Sweet Lady, she's really upset. She wants me to quit all the way again, because she's just like, Zach, it's just gonna get worse. If you're right about everything, they're gonna harass us. We don't know what'll happen next. And now that it shows that they know where I work. I don't know how they figured out where her place of work. They might have been calling every single place like it around, or I don't know. But anyway, the thing is, you guys, I'm not gonna quit, but I might just chill out a little bit on the content production.
You fucking pussy!
Because she's stressed out right now about what happened today. So anyhow, the trolls, you guys are those of you who do this are literally just like horrible freaking people.
Ironic.
I wish I could see who all these knuckle-dragging losers are that harass the community each day. I wish I had hackers and people who could dox them and figure out where they were. I would, again, you guys, I'm not mincing words. I would love to read about these people's obituaries. I'd be making videos about how the world just got better each time. The trolls, you guys are, those of you who do this are literally just like horrible freaking people. If all you can do is get up and harass that person every day, I think you should kill yourself. In fact, not only do I think that, I think it would be right if somebody found out where you were, doxed you, and killed your ass. I think that would be more than deserved. Somehow the trolls were able to track down where Sweet Lady works, and they called her work today, and they hoaxed her, and they freaked her out, and they got her to give up personal information that she shouldn't have.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I mean, you guys remind me why whatever's coming, for a lot of you guys, it is deserved. And I know that my whole life, I've been a good Samaritan. I've always looked out for other people before I looked out for myself. A lot of people know that about me. All right, but thanks again, True Seeker. And you know what? The other day, I got excited. I thought a bunch of new people supported the work. In fact, hardly any new people supported the work. But for some reason, Patreon started showing a new stat. There's now a new thing that says supporters. It's not actually people that pledge money, but there's like some way you can support the page without donating. That's got a big number. But it's not additional financial support, so. Money, man. People just want money. And you're making videos with these bullshit calculations about how much money you look how much money you would have lost if you went with Zach's picks last week. First time I ever did a price hike, but to me, you know, even if it's still a bargain rate, I mean, if you look into how much work I put in each month and how much decoding it is, I mean, you're getting a killer deal at both prices.
Okay, I'll try one more time.
We talked about how if the home team lost on Monday Night Football, it would set up the narrative for potentially a 35 Thursday upset for Chicago, where the Commanders could pick up the 35th home loss of the season. And of course, Chicago also equals 35. I think the Bears, I wouldn't go crazy on them, but that 35 is there. The value's there. Now you have the Dick Butkus death before the game, who connects back to 35, because again, Dick Butkus is 149, the 35th prime, like Chicago's 35, like Thursday's 35, like how home teams could get the 35th loss of the season. The Texans and the Falcons. And I noticed that if the Falcons won tomorrow, they'd become 84 and 120 versus the AFC on the day leaving 84 days left in the year. And remember, Atlanta's on the 84th meridian. That number plays in Atlanta. And they can stay on 120 losses. And Atlanta's also 120. And again, the game's in Atlanta. So to me, this game looks a bit better for Atlanta. Panthers and Lions. Jared Goff, he can get his 60th win. That's one of the 60s that can play. He can get his 16th win with the Lions. The date numerology is 16 plus Carolina equals 53, the 16th prime. Dan Campbell can also get his 16th win with the Lions and his 21st win all time, where Carolina is also 73, the 21st prime. So to me, it looks better here for the Lions. Giants and Dolphins. Now Tua can get his 25th win. Giants is 25 date numerology. So I think the Dolphins get it done here. They're huge favorites. I was just wondering if we could have 70 points in the score, like something like Miami 45, Giants 25 for Tua's 25th win. If they did that, they would obviously cover the spread. But yeah, I could see Miami covering and having a big game. The Chiefs and the Vikings. We talked about this last week, why we like the Vikings to win and the Chiefs to win, to set up this exact scenario, the Super Bowl IV tribute, where the Chiefs get the 4th win and the Vikings get the 4th loss, and Andy Reid gets his 251st regular season win, the 54th prime, when Super Bowl IV was 54 years ago. And Mahomes can get his 37th road win. Vikings is 37. Cousins can get his 67th loss. Kansas City 67. Andy Reid's next all-time win with Kansas City is 133. That's the other Minnesota number. Minnesota's 133 when you run it the other way. And again, Kevin O'Connell loses. He's going to be 14-8. Kansas City's 148. He'd stay on 14 wins versus KC, the 14 team. So I like Kansas City here. Cowboys and Niners. The number that could go for Dak is his 65th win. San Francisco 49ers is 65. Something that makes me think the Cowboys do have a shot tomorrow. They could stay McCarthy, who used to be the offensive coordinator of the 49ers before he got his first head coaching job. Mike McCarthy could stay on 108 all-time losses, beating his old team, the Niners, on 10-8. I think if I had to play this game right now, I'd take the Cowboys with the points. I've been predicting the future for over 9 years straight accurately. I get annoyed when people are like, hey, your predictions are nowhere near Nostradamus. You know what, you guys? This is not a false statement. I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. Columbus was a pirate and Raiders are pirates. So just the history of Pirates on Columbus Day has always been good. Home teams would pick up the 7th win tonight if they did it as well. They do it with the team, against the team with the big G on their helmet, the 7th letter. It is Columbus Day. The Columbus Day narrative favors the Raiders. Okay, so Ravens at Titans. Right here, just it being week 6, right? Week 6, if the Titans lose, they're the home team, they become 6-6 at home versus Baltimore Ravens, which team that has the gematria is 66. Harbaugh has a narrative to stay on 106 all-time losses. Tennessee's 106. Mike Vrabel, if he loses, would get his 41st all-time loss. Good Baltimore number. He'd also get his 38th regular season loss. Ravens is 38, Baltimore's 41. So Vrabel's got the perfect opponent to lose to. Looking at that makes me think it looks a bit better for the Ravens. But Commanders at Falcons. One stat that really stands out for Atlanta in light of how 15 Atlanta is, Atlanta right now is 14-15 at home all time. And this game falls on the 15th, this week 6 game. Atlanta 15, they can get to 15-15 at home in week 6. Falcons can get their 227th home franchise win. That's the 49th prime number. Washington's 49. If Ritter wins this game in light of week 6, he can become 6-4 and 6-0 at home. So the 6s can fall on his side. That said, if you do see the Ravens win the first game and become 4-2, the Falcons winning the next game and becoming 4-2 and 4-0 at home does make a lot of sense. Again, war is 42. Israel declared Article 40 for war. And again, we know Atlanta Falcons is 40.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything.
The Vikings and Bears, if the 6-6 thing plays for the Ravens, could also play in the Vikings' favor. That's because the Bears can get their 66th loss versus the Vikings in week 6. If you look at the week 6 stats, it looks better for the Vikings. Seahawks and Bengals. The Bengals come into this game on 93 losses versus the NFC. Seattle, Washington equals 94. 2 times this year, there's been 94 on the board in a Seattle game, and it hit in both of them. So third opportunity for it to hit here. Again, Seattle, Washington equals 94. So does Denver. Seattle beat Denver in the 94th NFL season. Big track record with 94 in Seattle. The Bengals are another team that can fall to 6-6 at home in week 6 for the record. And remember, Saturn's the 6th planet. Cincinnati has the gematria 66, but Cincinnati Bengals is 75. But if the Bengals did go down, they would get the 94th loss again against Seattle, where the 94 number in Seattle games is 2-0 this year. I'm the one who's been right about pretty much everything. 49ers at Browns. Again, Brock Purdy still hasn't missed a 5-0 possibility. San Francisco 50. They love that number. They were once 5-0 in Super Bowls. They hosted Super Bowl 50. Now Brock Purdy can become 5-0 away in the regular season. So, again, that's hard to go against. Purdy's trying to get his 11th win in the regular season. I could see an 11-point win. 11 plus points. I was thinking about if he was 11-0, it kind of looks like 1-1-0, like Minnesota's 110, and we've seen some big Minnesota 110 rituals the last 2 weeks. And so 11-0 going into Minnesota has some rhyme and reason to it. And Browns equals 91, the 13th triangular number. He's going for his 13th all-time win. If the Niners won by 11, again, Purdy'd get his 11th regular season win, and they'd be plus 110 for the year. Minnesota equals 110. That's who they play next. So that's how I was thinking. Maybe the Niners win this one by 11.
I mean, I've been absolutely correct about everything I came with. And for every troll who tried to take a clip of that and then show things I've been wrong about, you're a moron. I've been right about everything.
Okay, and then the Panthers and Dolphins. I see some score differentials that can make a lot of sense if Miami covered the 13.5 points that they're a favorite. I see some reasons for them to win by at least 17. Of course, Dolphins can also get the 6th win in week 6 versus the Panthers. If the Panthers lost by 17, they'd be negative 70 for the year. Miami Dolphins 70. Next week's game's on the day, leaving 70 days left in the year. So Panthers losing by 17, that's where they're at, negative 70. Miami Dolphins has the 74 connection as well. So if they lost by 21, you're covering the spread either way. If the Dolphins won by 24, they'd be plus 70 for the year as well. Just another thing that could reason to cover the spread potentially. The Colts and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are trying to win their 9th straight at home versus the Colts. And it's the year 23. 23 is the 9th prime number. Jaguars equals 23 in the most pure cipher. The Jaguars have already done some 23 rituals this year. Plus, one other thing I like in this game is Doug Peterson, the Jags coach, can get his 60th all-time win. Indianapolis is 60 in the most pure. I still like the Jags here. Streak of 9. Doug Peterson with a nice ritual for the regular season and all-time win. The Saints and the Texans. I'd like to see Carr win this game because he'd get his 31st road win and historically 31, and Houston's been so awesome for us. And it played for us last week with Ritter becoming 31-0 at home all time. The stat they're putting out, high school, college, and pro. Again, Houston's the 31 city. Carr can get his 31st road win in this game. You know, again, if I have to pick this game, ultimately I would take the 31 narrative because historically that's the best number in Houston. But
I'm right about everything.
the Patriots and the Raiders game. The thing that jumped out to me about this one, just with Israel right now, they keep calling it Israel's 9/11. The 119th World Series is upcoming. After 9/11, you had the Patriots take over the league, and they went through the Raiders in the Tuck Rule game. And that game was on January 19th, 1/19/2002, after 9/11. Date can also be written 11/9. If the Raiders lose this game to the Patriots, they're going to be 11-9 at home. So that really does stand out to me. Just looking for what would make the most sense with these teams playing at this time. I mean, that's where my mind gravitates to. What are the odds they can become 11-9 at home? If Mac Jones wins, he'd become 11-8 away. That's another number at the Patriots. Patriots 118. But yeah, the 119 thing is what stands out to me.
Another wrong predictions.
People want to focus on the things where I've been wrong. You know? Why?
The Cardinals at the Rams. And Rams equals 15 like war equals 15, like how the war broke out in Israel on 15-date numerology. Of course, the Cardinals can fall to 1-5 like Rams is 15, like war's 15. But if the Rams won, they'd be 23-23 at home. Judaism is 23. Here we are at the end of 2023. So yeah, I do lean towards them falling to 1-5. The Eagles at the Jets. This game right here, I see a reason for Philadelphia is a 6.5 point favorite. I see a narrative for the Eagles to win by 8 here, possibly 9. Jets equals 9. If they win by 8, they're plus 45 for the year, and Miami's 45 who they play next. If the Eagles do win, and they probably do, they become 6-0. New York Jets is 60, and it would set them up to become 7-0 next week on the day leaving 70 days left in the year playing the Miami Dolphins. In case you forgot, Miami Dolphins is 70 in the most pure. Why do you think USA Today wrote their article about me? It's because this was never done before. Casinos have never taken losses like this before. The Lions and the Bucks. Goff can get his 25th road loss and his 47th loss. And Tampa Bay is 25 in the most pure, 47 in the reverse. Historically good numbers in Tampa Bay. 25 and 47 is not bad, and they're both there if Goff loses. But I do think that if the Bucks win this game, good chance they win by 4, because that would put the Lions at plus 37 points scored for the year, where Buccaneers and Detroit are 37. And it seems like the better narratives for a Bucks upset. So could the Bucks win by 4 to make that lineup? I'm not a greedy person. I don't say, here, to get my sports picks, you got to pay $500 a month, even though they're worth that. You know, they're worth that. The Giants and the Bills. So again, the Bills have not won at home since 93 against the Giants. October 3rd, 93, the last home win versus the Giants, that 93 again. The way this lines up, it makes me feel like the Bills are due to break this winless streak since 93. The reason it looked better to me for the Bills is McDermott can get his 70th win. Giants is 70, and his 66th regular season win in Week 6. Okay, coming back to tonight's game. And if the Chargers win, the Cowboys will fall to 7-6 versus the Chargers, again with Land Clark working the game, whose name equals 76, and again who wears the number 130, where LA and Dallas are 13, and Dallas could fall to 1-3 away for the year. The other thing that could go against Dallas is just Week 6, 33, Cowboys 33. They could become the latest 33 pattern. That's another thing that's there for the Chargers, who would be an upset tonight. When I looked at the Cowboys franchise record, I saw that their next loss as a franchise was 4-11. That's interesting because road teams for the week are 4-10. So if a road team lost tonight, which is the Cowboys, they'd become 4-11 for the week, and the Cowboys would also get their 411th franchise loss. If Chargers did win, they would be 3-2 for the year. They play Kansas City next, team with a good 32 connection. But really what stands out to me more is just, again, how the Cowboys can get the 411th loss and road teams can become 4-11. I mean, that's just like, what are the odds of that? You're not me. You're not the person who broke the code. You're not the person who's helped people win for 10 years. I'm sure there's somebody in a casino right now with my picture throwing darts at it. Fuck that guy, cost us a lot of money again this weekend. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
You've been going with my picks this season. You've been doing just fine. You did straight bets on every game I like this year. You've hit some big upsets, and you've won a lot. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking loser and fraud.
To retire, and you need to shut it down.
You've been going with my picks this season. You've been doing just fine. You did straight bets on every game I like this year. You've hit some big upsets, and you've won a lot. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking loser and fraud. He's a bullshitter. He's a scammer. And
that's all, folks.
Till next time, truth seeker.